Our Lady of the Milky Way, please receive my warmest greetings from the solar system, 25,000 light years away from the center of your galactic grace. I am Selene, as humans used to call me. I am the dweller of Earth's only moon, Luna. I am the Dreamer of Gaia. As you might recall from my previous reports, Gaia is the spirit of Earth, a small, beautiful planet whose evolution has been a fascinating journey to witness from up here. But since I know you have a myriad of students like me, let me quickly refresh your memory. Earth's journey has been a little bumpy since the very beginning. For some reason, I lost control of my planet, and Project Gaia almost ended before it even began. However, Gaia appeared from the start as a highly promising planet for a possible evolution in both organic and spiritual terms. The experiment began with the arrival of water from the sky, a gift from Venus and from the comets I had summoned. Within that water would germinate the seeds of life, the absolute protagonist of the story of planet Earth. After a few billion years, the first fish began to swim in those waters. Then one day, to my great delight, those fish conquered the land. At that time, Earth's oxygen-rich atmosphere supported the energetic needs of various species of monsters. Some crawled, others leapt, and still others flew. The monsters were followed by the dragons, of whom Mother Nature was always proud. The great and terrible dragons soon became the rulers of the planet, and remained so for tens of millions of years. Unfortunately, as you know, in reptiles, instinct is overwhelming. For us spirits to possess a reptile is as difficult as taming a wild horse. I absolutely had to prevent Earth from taking the dead-end path of reptilian evolution. And so, with your permission, I drew an asteroid 10 kilometers wide toward Earth. When that mountain of fire fell from the sky, it turned out to be a blessing for the planet's spiritual evolution. But it was a calamity for Mother Nature, who knew she would never again be able to give birth to creatures so proud and mighty. She hasn't spoken to me since, and 65 million years have gone by. And yet, after all this time, even she should admit that those first mice managed to evolve into something that does, in fact, possess a certain dignity. In the end, life cares about only one thing: its own survival. It takes whatever form proves effective in achieving that goal. After 4 billion years, the Lady of Life and Death, as the ancients called her, still struggles to survive on this ever-changing planet. And to do so, she compels her children to die. But in truth, what people call death is, for Mother Nature merely a renewal of her own limbs, which allows life to keep adapting to ever-changing conditions. Ruthless, that she is. Cruel, though? No. How can you be cruel when you're just doing what you must to survive? With the help of the goddess Venus, within a couple of terrestrial million years, we transformed small tree-dwelling monkeys into upright hominins, perfectly suited to host self-conscious individual spirits who wished to experience life on Earth firsthand. For a long time, the system ran smoothly, aside from minor inconveniences. Then, with the landing of reptilian humanoids from Mars, things took a dark turn. I can no longer bear the screams of innocent animals and humans being abused and murdered in every possible way. The Martians have turned my planet into a colony and enslaved its inhabitants. And to think that humans would still represent the optimal vehicle for the planet's spiritual evolution. They dwell at the boundary between worlds, forming the bridge between the heart and the mind of the One. Within their prodigious minds, matter turns into thought, will becomes consciousness, and energy transforms into information, and vice versa. Unfortunately, as we know, humans are corrupted by power. Power breeds bad leadership, which in turn brings about bad choices. Human activity continues to cause climate imbalance, and Gaia is preparing to intervene to restore equilibrium. In her own way, of course. The spirits of the elements are awakening, and no one on that planet can feel safe. This time, I'm afraid nothing, not even technology, can spare humankind the wrath of the Great Mother herself. I must point out that this will likely bring about the definitive halt of the planet's spiritual evolution. If not of life itself. Unless, of course, we eradicate power. Before it's too late. For this reason, Divine Queen, I beg you for a little extra help from the heavens. Please send us an envoy who can solve the situation swiftly and, if possible, without bloodshed. I no longer know what to do down here. Confident of a kind reply, I send you an embrace from the moon.
Dear Selene,
Divine Queen.
the term divine has only meaning for retrograde populations. Please stop calling me that, even for flattery's sake.
Radiant Teacher, it's such an honor, with all the students you have.
Oh, but how can we forget you, Selene? The student who fucked up on such a grand scale that even the planet of male rabbits pales by comparison. You don't need to remind us of Earth's sad story, which is well known to me and to the entire Galactic Council. Let's face it, your planet is a disaster of a design ever since you struck it with your moon. Earth has been incapable of supporting any life whatsoever without burning it to ashes, drowning it, freezing it, or killing it in some other inventive way. For billions of years, your Gaia remained a blazing sphere. Then the conditions changed and the planet became a glacial orb. At that point, any designer of planets would have asked themselves a question, but you? No. You pressed on, undaunted. By now, Gaia is notorious throughout the universe as the planet of cannibals. Only the bravest accept to spend a life there. Humans' crave for power has only made the situation worse. How do you plan to carry out the spiritual evolution of your planet under these conditions? I won't hide from you that in the Galactic Confederation Council, over which I have the honor of presiding, there is a discussion about whether to end the Earth experiment by transporting its inhabitants to a more stable and balanced planet, where food resources are abundant and where, above all, carnivores do not exist.
No, oh please, no. Gaia is still young. She's just crossed the border between chaos and cosmos. Violence is common in young planets, you know that.
Violence, not cannibalism among the living. You should salvage what little dignity you have left and terminate the Gaia project of your own will, declaring your failure once and for all. With this, I bid you farewell, bright Selene, dreamer of planet Earth. May you find the courage to do what must be done for the sake of the inhabitants of your monstrous planet.
Higher Queen of the Milky Way, wait. Can't we give humans one last chance to set the spiritual evolution of Gaia back on track? Please.
Your stubbornness is almost touching, Selene, but you will receive no more help from the galaxy. I'm sorry.
But it's not my fault, nor is it Gaia's. Humanity has fallen prey to Martians and learned their way. And now they adore the god of war instead of the goddess of love.
Fuck Mars, look at your other neighbor. Do you know who lives there?
I know, but...
I remind you that Venus is a daughter of the sublime Urana, the consciousness of the One.
It's not that easy.
Of course, her award-winning model planet reflects her degree of evolution, just as Gaia reflects yours, unfortunately.
Venus doesn't want to incarnate on Earth again after her last experience. She's made it quite clear during my last visit.
My dear Selene, you are young and beautiful. Ask the mirror what is the best card you can play with the goddess of love.
You mean to say that I should surrender to her lust for the good of my planet?
Surrender? Oh my. Call yourself lucky if she agrees to see you. Not many spirits have known the delight of uniting with the most beautiful creature in this universe. But perhaps you can do it. In fact, you'd better. The goddess is your last chance. I suggest you start to get ready while the council is still debating the fate of your project. Make sure you look your best if you want to save your planet. Beauty is the only thing that could convince the goddess of love to put on a physical body and suffer again for your mistakes. Only love can save the day at this point.